So the Sony A7 and A7R were both announced today, and an Australian video is up from Sony Australia explaining them, and there are various reviews up explaining the cameras. And I was excited about these cameras, and I actually placed 3 pre-orders for them. And I've had second thoughts now, and I'm actually canceling my pre-orders. And let me explain why. I'm shooting this video right now with a Sony NEX7 with the 24mm Zeiss 1.8 lens, which is a 35mm equivalent on this APS-C sensor that's in the Sony NEX7. And this is a nice package. It's a nice walk-around camera. I really like the camera. It's great for video. I'm shooting this in very low light, just to give you an example. And I was thinking of stepping up to the full-frame sensor. But as it stands now, these new full-frame sensor cameras, the glass that's available for them is not that fast. There's a 35mm f2.8 lens available. That's a Zeiss lens, and I'm sure it's a good lens, but it's an f2.8. The lens I'm using right now is an f1.8. Now, of course, if you step up to a full-frame sensor, that's going to make up for a little bit of that difference. But it's really not going to be a step up for me from a standpoint of going from this f1.8 to an f2.8, even though I'm going to have the full frame sensor and the better ISO capabilities that gives me. So that's one issue. The other issue is the zoom, the 24-70 zoom that's available is an f4 lens. And again, the 24-70 lens that I'm using on my Nikon almost all the time now when I cover events is an f2.8 lens. So I'm going to take a wait-and-see attitude. I'm going to wait until there's some more reviews out on these cameras, wait and see what other glass comes out, and just see what they do. The other thing that was kind of the clincher for me canceling the pre-order was the less expensive model is the 7, and then they've got the 7R. The 7R is the 36 megapixel, and it has the newer sensor with supposedly a better design as far as light gathering and so on and so forth, and yet it has the slower focusing system. It doesn't have the dual focusing system, the hybrid focusing system. Again, this is what I understand at this point in time. So the straight A7 unit has the faster autofocus, but it doesn't have the strong frame design, the all alloy frame design, titanium I guess it is. It's a weaker design, and they even showed this in the demonstration of the Australian video where they showed the structure of it and all that, and they said if you're going to put a longer lens on it, you're better off having the stronger unit. And so I really don't want to compromise on my camera body. I want the top-of-the-line camera body, but I don't want the slower autofocus. So I'm hoping that they will come out with a subsequent model that will give us everything we want, that will give us the new, better sensor and the fast focusing, and then they'll come out with some fast glass, because I'm really considering getting rid of all my Nikon gear and going all Sony. But I'm not going to do that if I still have to kind of compromise on some of these things. So Sony, let's get with it, and let's get some fast glass, and let's get a higher line unit with the fast focusing and so forth. I'm just about ready to jump completely into the Sony camp. I'm already in the Sony camp as far as all my videos are all shot with Sonys. I have an NEX VG10, the first one. I have an NEX5, and of course I have this NEX7. So I'm already getting towards being in your camp, but I need a little bit more of a nudge to get rid of my Nikon gear that I'm shooting most of my stills with right now. So that's the reason why I canceled my pre-order. Stay tuned.